So one more thing I wanted to talk about was did you see Rashad Mendenhall talking about speaking of race, speaking of race,
Jesus Christ.
the saying that black people are better than white people at football. Did you catch this by chance?
Yes, I did.
He said white people shouldn't play football. They should have segregation in the football.
Why
Uh,
would he say that? Come on. Does he really
Rashad,
think that, or was it a setup? Was he trying to get likes?
I don't know whether it was trolling or not, but Rashad Mendenhall wants segregation. That's where we are. And I started really giving this some thought, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he wants his own water fountain, maybe he wants his own bathroom along the way. But what would that matchup really look like? And I've seen some people do this, and they've done it all wrong. They've broken out each part of the roster. Well, we'll have Christian McCaffrey playing safety, and we'll have um what do you think would really happen in a case of a black versus white matchup like that?
Civil War.
No, for football, yeah, not in a
No, no,
not,
no. The first thing I start to think of is you got your players that fit the mold. You're not gonna have a lot of talent at cornerback for the whites, but
that's the challenge is cornerback. Everywhere else you're good. You got the Bosa brothers at defensive end. You've got some linebackers you can pull in. You've got offensive linemen galore. You know what I mean? You've clearly got quarterbacks. You've got your Josh Allen. You can grab
so
your
that
Burrow if you want. You can grab whoever you want, and you've got some wide receivers. You've got your Cooper Cup. Where you really shine is tight end. You've got your Travis, two shots in the arm, Kelsey, whose entire career has been derailed by that witch,
Hussey,
by that witch Taylor.
Hussey,
Now he's a Swifty, and his career's gone to shit, which is great, by the way. Not that
they got
it,
the dog shit beat out of them the other day, didn't they?
yeah, they did. Yes, they did. So tight end, we're loaded. We got Laporta, we got Kelsey, we got Kittle, we got tight ends everywhere. So we could even go tight ends at wide receiver because these guys are that fast and just run power where you don't even know. So on offense, you talk about Josh Allen, we'd have to run with him every now and then just to let the black team know that white people can run. The Josh Allen, just to let them know, let
Yeah.
them know on their toes. I think offensively we could play keep away, like actually third and short, first down conversions, pretty well throughout the game. Defensive back is where it gets a little squirrely. There's been one white defensive back in like 25 years, Jason Sehorn, who belongs in the Hall of Fame for doing something so incredible that he was able to step on a football field and perform at a high level as a white defensive back. But I have a solution for this. So there were a number of wide receivers in the NFL that were high-level defensive backs in high school, led by Adam Thielen, white wide receiver. So Adam Thielen's there. Pretty much every wide receiver that plays for so Cincinnati Bengals lead the league in white wide receivers. They've got a shitload of white wide receivers. They've got so many white wide receivers that you're going, how the hell did they find so many white guys that can run? But if you go through the league, like if you take a guy like Cooper Kupp did not play defensive back in high school. He didn't do it. But that guy's footwork is so good, he'd be worth checking out. And again, McCaffrey, he might have to go both ways at safety. We've sort of covered that. It might have to happen, but I'm telling you, there are enough white wide receivers that you can go and say, okay, this guy was pretty highly recruited as a DB in high school. Never played college because they were way too fast and athletic as white wide receivers to play college DB. Now everybody just goes, okay, this guy can catch. We're going to move him to the offensive side.
Right.
But you can take some of these guys. And by the way, there's also a loophole here that I would do during the contract because black people do not have great attorneys. Okay. So I would slip in the word white in there. A white in there. I can use any white And that allows they won't read the contract. They don't have Jewish attorneys. They're going to be like, it's going to slide right through. Next thing you know, I have Cornelius White as a DB from the Buffalo Bills. I've got Rashad White from the Tampa Bay Bucks at line, and I've got a running back from Tampa Bay.
Anyway,
3 whites that are very black. But I've got one of my DBs covered in a contract there. Now here's where I have to get a little squirrely to win, because if you're a white team and you're going to beat the blacks, you have to beat the blacks the way that you really should beat the blacks, the way that you've always beaten the blacks. You have to cheat. You have to cheat badly. So the first thing that I would do is I would plant cocaine in Tyreek Hill's car and call the police and take Tyreek. Immediately your cornerback problem becomes a little bit less of an issue, because now Tyreek's facing, we have now set up a black person for prison the way that many whites before us have done.
And white football players are very good with police.
It's almost a tradition at this point to destroy a black life that's promising for a very small win, like a game in a black versus white win. So it would be, well, who would we be as the coach of the white team without destroying a few lives on the way? The next thing that I would do is bring in drug dogs into the locker room to take out all the people who had weed, marijuana in their locker rooms. That should wipe out about half the team, maybe 90% of the starters right there, right then and there. So you then with their backups, because that's still going to be a problem athletically. Here's where you have some of your white hacker friends. Let's say that you're left with Jalen Waddle, and you've got Lamar Jackson, Jalen Waddle, any number of great wide receivers. You hack into their accounts and you message, like, let's say Patrick Mahomes is the black quarterback. Okay. We have Jalen Waddle and Brown, AJ Brown, send Mrs. Mahomes messages asking if they could bang her in a threesome right before kickoff. And Mrs. Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes' wife, is now maybe 8 hours before kickoff, just to give enough time for this information to make it back to Patrick, is now being asked for a threesome by the 2 starting wide receivers for the black team. This should cause some problems.
That's going to cause some turmoil.
That's going to cause some turmoil. Then
wait, back up.
Yeah, go for it.
As a white person, am I just giving? Isn't Patrick Mahomes half and half? Why do I have to give the black side Patrick Mahomes? Is he theirs?
They're gonna take. He's got great hair. He's got black hair, so they're gonna take the Patrick. I mean, I would love, first of all, I'd work that out in the contract negotiation, but they're gonna win. They're gonna win on the Patrick Mahomes. I'd love to be able to take Puka as the half Hawaiian and say, he's half Hawaiian, but they're gonna cut out the. We'll negotiate that, but they're pretty much gonna get anybody with African American blood. I hate saying African American. Any black blood African American. It's so disgusting just to say that. He's not African. He's American. He's a black guy from America. So they're going to make a legit case. They're probably going to win that. So I'm just assuming that we're going to have to, plan to double team, hypothetically, his wife in order to get a psychological edge in the game. It's a great question, and it's up for debate. I'd like to be able to make a play for Patrick, but we really got to focus on our Josh Allens and our Burrows and whoever else is available on the whites. We have infinite number of white quarterbacks to take. We could even take Joe Flacco, who's lighting up the league right now.
Damn, good for him.
Nobody's questioning that. So now is where we have to do the final cheat, and this is the Bill Belichick cheat. We have to steal their play calls. So in order to secure a victory, I'm not worried about offense. I think we can just take the tight ends and run it right down the field with McCaffrey, the big offensive line, and just run the quarterback, run it down.
However, would we do that, Beans?
Well, the same way Belichick did. He just hired a lip reader and told them, hey, they're running cross 22 zone. They're running trap 22-4. They're going to run off tackle. And then we line up regular, let everybody know where to go before, don't tip our cards and just cheat the old fashioned way. If we cheat across the board, put Tyreek Hill in prison, make Patrick Mahomes' wife think she's being gangbanged by the wide receivers, knock out the starters with marijuana and drug dogs, and steal their signals while we put, Thielen and some other people in the defensive backfield, I think we can get through this with a possible victory. And then say, fuck you, Rashad Mendenhall, bitch.
And we would at least put ourselves in position to win with a field goal, which we got Jason Tucker.
Oh, that's true. We got Tucker. We can go from 60, 65. Yeah. Again, who's going to be their black kicker, right? Good luck finding what are they going to say? Young Ho Koo is black, Asian guy. You guys are fucked if it comes down to a field goal. That's a great point. You know what? Mendenhall, we can't play. We can't. Who's your punter? Who's your punter? Who's your kicker, bitch?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Game, set, and match, bitch. When we go 3 and out, you know what? We're going to kick the ball 65 yards to the 2-yard line and make Tyreek Hill go 98 yards on a single play. What are you going to do, motherfucker? Nothing. You don't have Randall. You don't have
Floyd Mayweather football. Floyd Mayweather football, baby.
That's right. You don't have Randall Cunningham kicking the ball 80 yards anymore. You don't have that. Matter of fact, you know what's funny? They'll pull some random black dude off their team that's never punted, kick it 75 yards.
He'll just become the greatest punter of all time.
Greatest punter that's ever lived. Jamar Chase will kick like a 95-yard punt. Like, what the fuck? First of all, they'll probably never have to punt unless we take their whole team out with illegal raids, unless we get the FBI involved.
Oh, Jesus Christ.